Hello, guys. It's lovely to see you here. This is so random and last minute, but I'm going to leave it just a few minutes to see if anybody else wants to come and join us on this call. Going to talk about goal setting today and New Year. This is like one of the biggest times of the year. Everyone tries to set their goals, and so many people struggle. I don't know why. Maybe it's setting too many or not setting the right ones. It's mostly not setting the right ones. I would say it's also sometimes setting too many. So thanks for joining. If you want to take part and do this workshop with me, because I'm just going to sit here and set my goals and kind of walk you guys through it. What have we got here? Holly sent me a little message in the chat. Holly says, I call them intentions rather than resolutions or goals, less pressure. That's so good. I love intentions. And I think that's amazing. And you can have intentions at any time, can't you? But there's something about the new year. It's like fresh, and I don't know, we feel like we're all on the reset. It's like we're being given a second chance, something like that. That's why we always start diets and things on a Monday, because it feels like the start, the beginning, we're fresh. So strange. Anyway, I love intentions. So we're going to be intention setting today. Okay, so how this basically works, I'm going to walk you through it, but if you want to do it, you need like post-it notes. These are my best friend. It's also good to have like a general notepad as well. I don't want this to be like too much hard work or anything like that. And also I just want to share this with you, is I kind of monitor my progress throughout this process. I generally don't set goals for the year ahead. I set them for 6 months because I feel like there's more of a chance of feeling like you've accomplished something within 6 months. I think depending on the goal, you can also go for 3 months. But I have this thing called a breathe journal. I was really lucky to get this actually because I live in Egypt and they don't have them here, but my mum was able to send that over to me from England. So that's really good. So first of all, I want you to start thinking now about the things that you want to achieve. I want you to start thinking about your intentions for next year. So as you're doing that and as you're thinking about that, as you start to think about your intentions and the things that you want or your goals or whatever, you can write them down on a post-it note, individual post-it note, so they can be related to something professional, they can be related to something personal. Because basically what we want to do is when you're thinking about these, try to separate them into a personal and professional pile. I call this, and I've been doing this for years now, dual goaling, because I feel like there always needs to be a self-care goal when we're focusing also on a professional goal. We need to have those two elements and those two aspects going on in order to, I think it's just like not burn out with the professional goal, when we're not taking care of ourselves. For those of you who are great at self-care, and you're always eating right and healthy and exercise, I commend you, because that is probably one of them. For me, it's one of the most difficult things, because I have 11 living bodies in my house. Like I have me and my partner and my 4 kids. So that's 6 humans. And then we've also got a dog and 2 cats and 3 birds. So yeah, so there's like a lot going on in my house. And being obviously one of the people at the top of the house chain, at the top, then for me it's like I usually tend to put myself last, or the professional goals tend to prevail, and then the personal goals tend to take a step back or a seat back. If that resonates with you, let me know. But for me, it's really about making sure that I am not just focusing on my career or my professional goals or my business or my finances or any of my other businesses. because I've got 3, but it's really about learning the importance of taking care of yourself in order to achieve all the other things that go around it. So we always set a personal and professional goal. So I'm going to start writing mine down. If you haven't written yours down, start writing yours down. But I want you to then just choose one professional and one personal. So this is when my pen runs out. Okay. So, and if they go hand in hand, then you can, you know, obviously lump couples together. I think sometimes, like, for example, if you want to increase your activity levels and you want to lose weight, usually increasing your activity levels helps you to lose weight, that type of thing. So I've got that one. Like I've always struggled with my weight. I've managed to get myself down pre my last baby, who's 8 months now. I was able to get myself down to a place where I was really close to where I wanted to be. It was just like a couple of kilos left, and then I lost it when I had my baby, and now I'm 10 kilos ahead of where I need to be. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to set a professional goal, which is a financial target of additional income that I would like to earn every month in 2022. Okay, so I've got my goals. I'm going to move on because obviously I want to make sure we complete this whole process in the hour. And obviously, if you want to catch up with anything as we go, you can do that later and, you know, watch the replay or something. If you want to watch the replay of this, make sure you're in my Facebook group, the Virtual Assistant Communities. Okay, so I've got a goal of weight loss, but I also want to increase my activity levels. I want to increase my stamina. I turned 40 this year, so I'm heading into 41 next year, and I do feel like there has definitely been a shift in my ability with stamina. My activity levels are terribly low because I do have an 8-month-old baby, so I'm not really doing much. I'm not a gym goer or anything like that. And I've got my financial goal there. So we're on the goal setting. So we've got a personal goal and a professional goal. Perfect. So let's go into the next stage. The next stage is I want you to write down some things that you love, things which you consider a treat, things which you would not normally, wouldn't normally do for yourself, or you might normally do them. For me, I love wine. So for me, like a bottle of wine is a really lovely treat for me. It could be something like a massage. It could be something like manicure, pedicure. I would love to have a manicure every month. I don't tend to do that. Maybe it's like every 3 months. But that's something that would definitely be a goal for me to do once a month. And also, what else? What things do you love? What things would you like to treat yourself to? Massage, maybe a little shopping spree. Maybe just sitting down reading a book, or treating yourself to a book or something like that. You know, you can do something like that and call it a treat for yourself. So I want you to write those down and put those in the bank. So you should have three things now. You should have your professional goal, your personal goal, and you should also have your treats. Now, what the idea is that you, as we go through this process, we're going to set ourselves activities and tasks that we need to do to achieve the goals. And I want you to put those treats in the bank. And when you get to certain milestones within your plan, I want you to say, right, I'm going to do this. So for example, for me, a bottle of wine is something I could definitely do every week. So if I hit my goals for that week, then I'm going to treat myself to a bottle of wine at the end of the week. Manicure would be something like if I hit my goals for the month, I'm going to treat myself to a manicure. That type of thing. So you could probably, you could even give yourself daily treats. If you want to go to your favorite coffee shop and get a really nice coffee or something like that, you can do that. But basically, go through, write down your treats, and as you go through the plan, you'll be able to sticky note those treats wherever you are on that plan. Okay, so I want you to plan out these goals ideally for the next 6 months. If they seem like it's not possible to achieve over the 6 months, then maybe make the goal a little bit less, a little bit more achievable within a 6-month period. The most important thing is you have to feel like this goal is achievable. And just to add a little something into the mix here, if you do want, or you are interested in knowing whether a goal is right for you or something is pointing you in the right direction, I would be happy to do a yes or no card spread for you, just to see if maybe it's a good idea or a bad idea or anything like that. So if at any point you have a question, which is basically like a simple yes or no, we'll look at these. You can write the question in there, and then we can look at the cards and see what they say, if you're into that. If you're not, you don't have to. Okay, so I want you now to write down how you're going to measure these goals. So for me, obviously with a financial goal, I've got a financial measurement. This will be based on, for example, how many packages I sell in my business, or how much income I make in my business. So that's how I'm going to measure that one. And then obviously with my weight loss, I'm going to have a target on the scale. It could be so many minutes of activity on a daily basis. And if you've got health goal, and this is something I'm going to do in my plan to incorporate it, I have something like a rebounder, or something called a rebounder, which is like a mini trampoline. And this is an activity that I love to do, but rarely find the time to do it. And I have to make my habit. I have to force myself to go into that habit. So if you want to force yourself to go into a habit, best thing to do is do it over 30 days. And I basically do this. So when I want to get back into a habit of something, and I've done this many times, but basically I start off on the first of the month or the first day doing 1 minute of bouncing, rebounding. Then the next day I do 2 minutes. And then the next day I do 3 minutes. And then by the end of the month, I'm at 30 minutes. So I'm at 30 minutes every day of rebounding. It's a good way to build up your stamina. I did this before I had the baby, and I've just not got back into it properly. But I tend to find, like, if I think to myself, oh, I've got to do 30 minutes of exercise, then I probably won't do it. I'll procrastinate on it, which is another reason, obviously, why people don't tend to achieve their goals. But if you're procrastinating, then you have to find another way around. You have to find another route in. So that's what I tend to do. So rather than just try and go for your goal and say, right, I'm going to do this for half an hour every day, or I'm going to do this for an hour every day. No, just take a step back, start with a minute, then the next day 2 minutes, then the next day 3 minutes, and the next day 4 minutes. By the 10th, you'll be up to 10 minutes. By the 20th, you'll be up to 20 minutes. And obviously by the 30th, you'll be on 30 minutes. So that's a good way to introduce activity when you're not normally somebody who does a lot of activity, me. And if you've got any hacks or anything you want to share, do feel free to share it. We're going to post up this replay. This was such a last minute decision to put this call up, but we are going to post a replay. So if you've got anything that you would like to share that you think is going to help, then do please share that so we can talk about it. Okay, so you've got your goal and you know how you're going to measure it. So once to the lady who has just come into the room, Wambui, just to let you know, there's going to be a replay of this. Make sure you join my Facebook group to get the replay. We're already well into it now. Okay, so the next thing you want to do, you've got your 2 goals, personal and professional. You've got your treats and your rewards that you're going to pepper in at different milestones when you create your plan. You've got your goal, which focuses over a 6-month period. If you hit the goal after 6 months, you just put in another one. Next, I want you to write down how you measure your goal. So you've got so you know when you're going to hit it, whether it's a thing on the scale, whether you say I'm going to lose 1 kilo every week, or I'm going to do 10 minutes of activity every day, or I'm going to make X amount of money every month, something like that. And next, this is something that you can do, and this is something I suggest that you do regularly, is to visualize and note how you'll feel when you reach that goal. So it's really important to sit and see yourself in the goal, achieve the goal. Obviously, if it's a health goal, you know, you're gonna look vibrant, happy, better than you are now, maybe slimmer, you know, maybe more toned, something like that, maybe clearer skin. I don't know, whatever your health goal looks like. Visualize yourself like that. Visualize yourself like the activities you'll be doing. So for example, when I've hit my additional income goal every month, you know, I'm going to start thinking in my head about what I'm going to do with that extra income. Am I going to have a self-care day every month where I just go and buy some things for myself? Am I going to do some extra activities with my children? Am I going to write down a list of things which I would like to do to the house and then go ahead and do those? So what does it look like once you have achieved that goal? So you can start getting excited about what's going to be at the end of the 6 months. Like, I've only got 6 months and I'm going to be there. And I want you to immerse yourself into that visualization, how you feel. Obviously for me, like, I don't tend to get a lot of feeling around money. So like, and I know this happens for a lot of people, like they don't get emotional attachment to more money. And I'm one of those people, but I do get emotional attachment to experiences and things that I want to do. So that's why I do the visualization, because just focusing on, oh, I want so much money every month extra, you know, it doesn't do anything for me. But when I focus on what I'm going to be doing with that money and how my life is going to look once I've got that money, then that's a completely different kettle of fish for me. So make sure you can associate your goal with like feelings and how you're going to feel. And, you know, if it's a health goal, what you're going to feel when you look at yourself in the mirror and how different you're going to be. Really, really important. So get that clear in your mind and focus on it regularly when you're thinking about your goals and working through your goals. Then I want you to brainstorm out now the next things relating to the 2 goals, like what needs to occur for you to be able to achieve them. We have to really dissect this now and think about the different things. So write out as many things as you can. So for me, like to achieve a financial goal, I could create a new package in my business. I could take on a couple of clients. Like if I set a package for a certain amount of money, I might have to take on more clients. I could create a course or another product and sell it for a certain amount of money. And then I would have to think about how many would I have to sell every month to hit my financial goal. These type of things. So start planning out and thinking and writing out all the different things that could be potentially part of the plan in order for you to achieve that. With health goals and things like that, it might be things like changing eating patterns or incorporating more things into your diet. Maybe you need to have more greens in your diet. Maybe you think to yourself, well, I could start drinking green smoothies. It could be the activity. So for me, definitely I'm going to do my 1 minute add-on of rebounding every day to reach my health goal. I also think this is a good time as well to start thinking about apps and things like you could use, and also things that you might need. So for example, one of my things I want to do to help towards achieving my goals is to be able to do more videos in my business, because I went through a stage in my business where I was making videos almost daily. And my YouTube subscribers were going up pretty much almost daily. And then I got to like 350 videos or something like that. And I think I flaked at that. You know, I felt like I was videoed out. But then I realized I need to incorporate that back in order to achieve my financial goals. So I was walking through the mall the other day and it was just really random. There was a stand, like a pop-up shop kind of stand. And it had, looking at it now, it had one of those light things in with a tripod and a place to put your phone. And I just thought to myself instinctually, like, that's something I need in order to start implementing my goal. So I made a strategic purchase that day, and I bought this tripod with the light, and now I've got something that is going to enable me to do my YouTube videos, or I don't know, maybe I'll get into TikTok. It's not a teenage, it's not TikTok. I don't know whether they'll be interested in me. But yeah, so that's like things you're thinking about. What do I need to acquire? What training do I need? Do I need a mentor? Do I need a coach? Do I need somebody to tell me what to do? Do I need to be more disciplined? You know, that type of thing. So start thinking about everything that needs to go into this melting pot to achieve your goal. Yeah. Then once you've done that and you've wrote these things down, it's really important, really, really important to put these also into a couple of piles. One of things that you've done before and tried before, and one with things that you haven't tried before. Now, this is one mistake I see people making a lot, particularly in my coaching, when they say, I've been trying to achieve this for years and years, and I just haven't, and I can't figure out why, what's going on. I set this goal every year, or I set this goal every 6 months, or I set this goal all the time, and I always fail. And what they've been doing is basically trying to achieve a goal using the same plan. And when it doesn't work the first time, okay, try it a second time. But when it doesn't work the second time, you know that you need a new plan. You cannot keep doing the same things. There is more than one way to achieve your goal. And the most important thing is you find the right way for you to achieve your goal. I was somebody who struggled with my weight for years and years and years. And I've tried healthy eating. I tried lots of different things. I fell off the wagon many, many times until I discovered juicing. And then I just decided, well, that's really simple. All I have to do for 30 days is drink juice. And I did. And then I lost 20 pounds that month. And then I kept going and I kept losing weight. So for me, that worked. But if I was trying diets or trying exercise or trying other things, people are all very lovely and giving lots of advice, but at the end you have to choose something that works for you. So a lot of people will come to me and say, well, I want to achieve this, and I'm following this person and they did it, I'm in this group and loads of other people have done it, and I'm doing this and I've seen loads of other people do it, and I'm doing it, but it's not working. Then you need to change your plan. So when you write these things down, if you have written down something that you have done before, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, why did I not achieve it if I've done this before? If it's a certain thing that you have resistance to, or you procrastinate on, or you just simply find it too difficult or too uncomfortable or not fun, you know, I'm not saying that there can't be an element of discomfort when you're achieving your goal, because you have to usually step outside of a comfort zone in order to do it. Otherwise, you would have already achieved it. But it's really important to note that you have to find a way that's going to be slightly uncomfortable, but not completely out of the realm of what you want to do. So if you've written anything down that is in that plan of what you've got to do, and you've tried it before more than twice, or you've tried it twice before and it's both failed that times, then just eliminate it. I want you to get rid of that right now, because it's not going to serve you putting that in. The energy around 2022 is really strong and really potent. So the more you, and now it's 15:55, it's really weird, 5:55. But the energy around next year is really, really potent. It's very supportive energy, and it's going to really push you quickly into the goal if you commit to it. So find things that you know you're going to be able to build momentum really easily, and it'll just happen all the more quicker. Okay. So next thing I want you to do, start planning out. Okay, like once you've discarded all the things that you kind of self-sabotage with, you know, you're going to need to use what's left and what's left over. And obviously, if you're at the point now where you're feeling stuck You can ask me questions. You can, post on the chat now if you want to. But if you're at the point where you're feeling stuck and like, I really don't know how to go about achieving this, I really don't know what the plan is, I really can't think of anything I can do right now, then you definitely need to talk to somebody who is familiar with achieving their goals, because this process of the plan, you don't need to have every single detail laid out, but you certainly need to have the milestones laid out of, okay, this month I'm going to do A, B, and C. This week, next week I'm going to do this, next week I'm going to do this, and see where we're at the end of the month. If you are at a point where you don't even have that, like your first month available to you, then you need to talk to someone. You need to start putting those bits and pieces in place to make the plan. Okay, so now that you have formed your plan, you need to start looking at that plan and then put your treats in. So like, okay, well, every week when I accomplish this, this, and this, I'm going to give myself a bottle of wine. Every month when I've accomplished every week for the 4 weeks, then I'm going to have a manicure, that type of thing. Those are mine. Those are my goals. You can be whatever you want to be. It could be taking a vacation. It could be taking a weekend away. Whatever you feel is going to motivate you to get to where you need to be, then you go ahead and do that. Okay, so now you've got your plan in place. You've got the basic structure, the milestones of the things that you need to start doing. It could be sending an email. It could be talking to a person. It could be getting some help. It could be hiring a coach. It could be getting some training. It could be sitting down and making a plan for your business. It could be introducing a new package. It could be going out and buying a rebounder because you're going to start rebounding, or buying in some training shoes or running shoes because you've decided I'm going to start running. Anything like that. Could be writing out a shopping list of the foods that you need to start eating, or start researching diets that include the foods that you love, so you can start working towards healthier eating patterns but without depriving yourself, that type of thing. So whatever it is that you feel like you need to do, put that plan in place and make sure you reward yourself. If you go ahead and you do start doing the research, you do start getting what you need, you do start doing anything, that 1 minute, like for example, if I'm going to say to myself, well, I'm going to start doing 1 minute of rebounding every day, adding on 1 minute. And I start this week with 1 minute, and then day 2, 2 minutes. And I get to my 7 minutes at the end of the week, I'm going to get myself a bottle of wine, that type of thing. So do all that. Now you need to, once you've done that, got your plan, got your steps, got your rewards in place, you need to start thinking about the disciplines and the habits of the things that you need to do in order to become the person now who is at the end of your visualization. So this is quite tough for some people, because obviously if you were the person that you need to be to already have achieved this, then you would know exactly what you need to do. But when you don't, you need to sort of start thinking to yourself, looking at people's habits who have achieved the things that you want to achieve. So what do I mean by this? Well, first of all, maybe if you're somebody who wants to start incorporating meditation into your day, but like me, you're busy, you've got a lot of kids, you've got a lot of animals, you've got a lot of businesses, you've got a lot of things that you need to do every day. And you basically say, I'm not going to be able to squeeze this in anywhere. And then the solution is potentially maybe you need to stay up a bit later. Maybe you need to get up a bit earlier. Maybe in order to function better, you're somebody that's going to need to get more sleep. Maybe you need to potentially discipline yourself in exercise or something like that. Maybe you need to be somebody that goes out and does some time out in nature every day. Maybe you're stifled. Maybe this person that you need to be at the end of it is going out and about every day, seeing people, doing things, going to work in coffee shops. You can start taking control of that right now and making changes right now that are going to carry you forward. Like, so if I'm somebody that feels like, God, I'm stuck in the office too much, and me at the end of my goal is not somebody who sits in the office all day, every day. I'm somebody who goes out to work. Maybe I go out to a cafe. You can start doing that right now. So I encourage you, again, write this down, write these things down. What do I need to be doing right now to start stepping into the person that I'm going to become? So start living, you know, you're not somebody who's going to achieve the goal and then suddenly become, you know, like a yoga guru or something like that overnight. No, if yoga is part of your plan, you know, start saying to yourself, right, I'm going to start doing this right now. I'm going to go look for yoga classes. I'm going to go and, you know, find an instructor that can come to my home if I can't get out. There's always a way. You're never stuck. And I do this a lot in my coaching. There's 24 hours in a day, right? Every single person on the planet has the same 24 hours, you know, but there are people, I laugh sometimes, there are people who have never had any kids, not got really any responsibilities, who will tell you they never have any time in the day, like they're always busy. And there are people with 5, 6, 7 kids, running multiple businesses, traveling, doing all kinds of things. So how is it that they have the time and those other people don't? Well, it's because they prioritize. They do the things with their time that are about priorities towards their goals. So prioritizing is really important, but you need to prioritize the things that are going to help you achieve the goals. So don't think about, oh, at the end of the goal, when I've achieved it, then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to start going out to work in cafes. Then I'm going to start taking exercise classes. Then I'm going to start taking walks in nature and giving back to myself. Then I'm going to, no, start now. Do whatever you can now. If it means that you've got to set your alarm clock an hour earlier, do it. It's not going to kill you. It's going to be okay. So really start to discipline yourself in this area. And again, if you're somebody stuck, like, I don't know what that looks like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this, then talk to somebody. Okay, you need advice and you need guidance. Don't be lost. Don't lose this chance. So next thing is habits. What habits do you need to incorporate? Then I want you to focus on your plan. I want you to focus on your rewards and then journal. So we talked a little bit in the beginning about journaling. So I have this thing called a breathe journal. And basically I've been filling these out for years. So basically there's like a planning section at the beginning for the month ahead. So I kind of like make my 4-week plan. So you can do something like this. There's also planners online, you can download them, but it's a 4-week plan of what I'm going to do every day. So I'm going to write in here one task that I need to do every day towards each goal. Okay, it could be something so small and so simple. I would suggest you do make it small and simple, but without fail, without what's the word? Without fail, without there's a specific word I'm thinking of and I can't think of it right now. But it has to be a must, okay? There is nothing that's going to stop you from achieving this goal before you go to sleep at night, okay? So whatever it is, write down one for each goal each day. And then what I do after I write down that, there's a little box up here where I can tick it off too, which is cool. So I can measure, I can see what I'm doing. And then each week here, I like to use this as like a journal. So that's my tasks on this side. But here I've got Monday to Sunday. So you can use a diary for this too. Non-negotiable. That's it. Thank you very much. Somebody has found the word non-negotiable. Okay, so yeah, so 7 days a week. So I write down gratitude every day. This is an actual really important part of the process. What am I grateful for? So you can do this at the end of the day and look back at the day. And I don't want it to be like the big things. We can all say we're grateful for you know, our health and our children and the roof over our heads and things like that. These are the big things. Holly, this is called a breathe journal. A 52-week planner. It's called a breathe journal. My mom sent it over from England. I'm not sure where you are, Holly. But there's no, it's basically sold in places like WH Smith's, I think. But anyway, you should be able to find it. Or you're in Pennsylvania in America, there's got to be loads of things out there like this. So yeah, so it's got 7 days. So every day I write down something I'm grateful for. And like I say, this is usually done in the morning for me. And I look back at the previous day and then I think about what was I really grateful for in that day. Could be an interaction with someone. It could be some money that came in unexpectedly. It could be, you know, my husband coming home and bringing something home for me, or giving me a hug, or anything like that. Like something that made me feel good, something that made me smile, something that made me feel that I have a nice life. Okay, so I want you to do that every day. And then there's also like a page here for just random thoughts. So sometimes like I use this page, this thoughts page, just to kind of like make little tasks within tasks. Like I need to do this today, or I want to do that tomorrow, or whatever. And also I write down sometimes like how I'm feeling about things, like was my energy low? What brought me down today? Why didn't I achieve what I wanted to achieve today? That type of thing. So without what's non-negotiable, thank you, is the gratitude, and also the tasks that you need to give yourself on a daily basis every single day. And don't forget, when you get your rewards, maybe you could write in your thoughts like you got your rewards, and you were able to do that. So that's what I tend to do. And I do that every day. It's really important. And a lot of people are like, this takes not that long. Okay, to write out your tasks, once you figure them out what they're going to be, it takes a few minutes. And then to write out your gratitude every day, it takes a minute. Okay, so you've got this. If you cannot dedicate those few minutes every day to completing a journal about your progress, oh, Danielle can't hear me. Can you all hear me? Can the rest of you hear me? Holly, can you hear me? Okay, maybe it's something with your, maybe like try coming out and going in again, Danielle. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, I'll send her a message. Oh, Danielle, there you go. Okay, so you can hear me. So it was just a blip. Okay, so yeah, ask yourself honestly, if you know that doing this on a daily basis is going to get you to where you want to be, if you procrastinate on that one simple thing, then how are you going to expect to achieve a goal? You know, like I often ask people who want to start businesses, you know, and then they're like, oh yeah, I really want to start this business, and I need clients, and I want to work with 10 clients, and I want to sell this package and do these tasks. You know what? And I'm like, go you. And then as soon as I mentioned, like, you've got to write your gratitude down every day. Like, this is like a really important part of the process. Make sure you find things that are going to raise your energy every day. Gratitude raises your energy levels. It gives you more energy. It gives you more good juju, keeps you in a more positive frame of mind, which is all essential requirements for achieving goals and achieving the things you want. And they're like, oh yeah, I didn't do my journaling today, or I didn't do that, and I was really tired. And then I'm like, how are you going to run a business with 10 more clients when you can't just give yourself a few minutes every day to do this? And when people are sitting there going, why am I not achieving my goals? Why am I not getting there? Why am I not doing this? Imagine if you did. Like, how is that going to look? And you can't even write a few minutes in a journal. A little bit of tough love sometimes, but that's really important. It's like, really look at this situation, really look at your life. You know, if you won't do the things that need to be done, do you really care enough about what you want to achieve? And this is another really big part of why people don't achieve their goals, because they simply do not care enough about it. What are the consequences of this if you don't achieve it? Are you scared by not achieving the goal? If you are not scared by not achieving the goal, it's either not big enough or you don't want it enough. And it's really important to have that fear around achieving it. Like, oh my God, what if I don't achieve this? What's going to happen to my life? It's like unthinkable. I remember years and years ago, when I left the UK in 2005 on a one-way ticket out, because I just had enough. I'd had enough of the rat race. I'd had enough of striving. I'd had enough of being miserable. I've had enough of the weather. And as soon as I left and I started a new life, I absolutely did not want to go back to my old life under any circumstances. And the thought of that just crippled me. And I would do anything and everything it took to make sure I could keep myself in a situation where I did not have to do that. I did not have to go back to the UK to live. That was nearly 17 years ago. Okay, so in 2022, that'll be 17 years ago that I left the UK. Obviously, that goal has led me to developing my business, you know, creating the business, developing the business. It was all centered around that. And it still is pretty much. Now I've added in other things like, you know, making sure my kids are okay and I can feed the animals and things like that. You know, there's other important things. But the one thing that made me strive for that goal is knowing the consequence of not achieving it and what was on the other side of that. So you have to really feel that when you set your goals and when you achieve it, and find that one thing, and it only has to be one thing, the one thing that scares you enough to say, I have to achieve this goal and I will do whatever it takes to do it. That's what's going to keep you on track. So as a final kind of wrap up of this whole process, so you're obviously going to work towards your plan, you're going to journal, you're going to do what needs to be done, you're going to have your little daily tasks that you're going to set yourself, you're going to have your rewards at the end of those tasks. And then basically, if you feel any resistance throughout this process, you are procrastinating, you are feeling icky about it, you know, again, you got to ask yourself these questions, like, what am I afraid of? Like, why am I feeling like this? Why is this even important to me? Am I setting the right goals? So many times we set goals for other people, not for ourselves. And that is also another we have to set goals for ourselves. Just because, you know, somebody else has a vision of what you should be achieving or what you should be doing with your life, it might not even be your vision. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she was in a situation where she was upset with herself because she felt like she should be further along. And I said, well, why do you feel like that? She said, well, you know, I look at my friends, I look at this person and she's got this and she's got this business, and then I look at this other person and I see, you know, they've got this and they've got kids and they're married, and I'm like, but those are the things that you want. She's like, no, but I feel like I should be there, I should be doing them. I'm like, no, why? Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like you should be doing any of those things when it's not things that you want? So always make sure that you're setting your goals that actually resonate with you, things that you want, because otherwise you won't be motivated to achieve them. And also, I want you to ask yourself a question every day, particularly when you're feeling overwhelmed and busy and like, I can't do this, because it's going to happen, because you're going to be adding a lot of things in now that you don't normally have. And if you're somebody like me, you're quite busy, sometimes that can feel a little bit overwhelming. Like, do I even have that extra time, or can I even fit this in? And I want you to ask yourself, is this something I should be prioritizing? And is this something towards my goals? So all the little things that you do every day, if you want to find pockets of time to work on your goals, sometimes we also have to eliminate other things that we're doing. So ask yourself for every turn, something that you're doing that's taking your time, is this in line with my goal? Is this something that is going to help contribute towards achieving what I want to achieve? And if it's not, ask yourself if you can let it go. Ask yourself if you can hand it over. Ask yourself if you can pass it on. One of the big things for me is housework, funnily enough. I was always thinking to myself, like, when I was going around doing the housework, I was thinking, shit, I could be writing an article right now, or I could be working on my business right now, or I could be sending that email, or I could be putting that proposal together, or I could be doing this. And then I thought to myself that this housework is not in alignment with my goal. And that's why I was feeling some resistance to it. So what I tended to do, or what I think is really important for you to do, is think to yourself, if I'm feeling the resistance, I've got to listen to that. And then if you listen to that, ask yourself then, what can you do to eliminate this? So what did I do? I brought in a housekeeper. So now I don't feel that resistance and my house still gets clean. I have a housekeeper, so I can spend that hour and a half or 2 hours a day that literally it takes to keep and run a house of 6 humans and all these other animals inside it. There's 11 living beings in this house that require feeding, cleaning, taking care of. I just brought someone in to help me. So those 2 hours a day I can put back into my business. So when you're looking for time, you're saying you don't have enough time, or you're procrastinating certain things, or you're feeling resistance to certain things that you're putting time and energy into, which you somehow resist and say, I shouldn't be doing this. I don't want to do this. I could be doing something else that's in alignment with my goals. Then you can start doing something about it and start thinking about possible solutions. And this is something you must do as well throughout this whole process. Ask yourself that question: should I really be prioritizing this? Is it in alignment with my goal? If it's not, is there another solution that can mean that I don't have to do this anymore? I've had a lot of conversations with people in my coaching about people who are doing a lot for other people, like, and they can't say no, oh yeah, can you do this for me? And like, aren't able to say no. Maybe you have to start saying no to some people. See what it is that you need to do, and make sure that everything that you do, when you're not in full flow, joy, good feelings, yeah, I'm working towards my goals, yeah, I'm going in the right direction. If you feel like you're struggling with it, or if you feel like there's a break on what you're trying to achieve right now because you're doing other things that are not in alignment, you've got to address that. So always ask yourself, should I really be prioritizing this? And anything that is not in alignment with your goal, can it wait? Can it be handed over? Can it be moved on? Okay, so that basically is the process. That's what kind of keeps everything ticking. Holly said, unfortunately, social media does that to us. We compare. We always compare on social media. This is why I tend to stick to social media just for my business. I like to post, and I like to stay in touch with my family, and sometimes that's the only way they see what's going on, because I am very far away. But it's really, really important that we can sift through and filter through the things that are serving us and the things that are not serving us. I know people who can sit there many, many hours a day just flicking through their phone, looking at videos, looking at things that are not in alignment. I'm all for somebody who hits up YouTube and starts looking at TEDx talks on motivation, on business, on achieving the goals. If you're somebody, if one of your goals is to train your dog, I'm totally all for you sitting on social media searching for dog training videos or whatever, as long as it takes you, because that's all an achievement towards your goal. That's learning something that's going to help you achieve your goal. But if you're somebody who sits there just constantly looking at other people's lives and wondering, should I be doing that? Should I be having those things? Am I less of a person because I don't have those things? Am I less of a person because I don't look like her? Am I less of a person because I haven't joined that gym and I haven't got my fitness levels up. No, you are not. You are not less of a person for anything, anything, unless, with one exception, you are feeling like you want to be in that position. Like if you're upset with yourself because you want to be in somebody else's skin and not in your own skin, then sure, you've got to do something about that. You've got to make a goal to fix that and to remedy that. But if you're looking at other people feeling bad because you don't look like that, but when you look at yourself in the mirror and you are happy with yourself and you can say, I don't need to look like that. I don't need to be that person. I don't need to have all that money. Unless you find a real need for it and a real desire for it, skip past it. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything to you, and also we've got to also in this goal process let go of what are other people thinking of me. Do I even want this, or what are people going to think of me if I do go ahead and do this? A lot of people starting businesses resist the starting of the business because of so many people around them are saying, oh, but you can't do that, or be realistic, or you don't even know how to do that, or sod it, F them. That's like, you don't need to hear that. Filter it out. Okay. You can't stop people from voicing their opinion. You do have to respect people's opinions, but that does not mean to say you have to take people's opinions on board as this is what you have to do for your life. It's really, really important. So if you want to go ahead and start that business, start that business. If you failed 10 times before, all you've done is learned, all you've done is learned what not to do. It's perfect. Keep going. You really have to sift and filter and start living for yourself in 2022. It's really, really important. We've gone through, or we're in the process of going through this really ridiculous pandemic that has taken things away from people, taken lives away from people. We should not be sitting here, waiting for anything. And we should not be sitting here not doing things because somebody else thinks it's more important to do something else, or somebody else told us to. I think you've got to look at the end, your end of days. Not that that's a really lovely thing to think about, but I often think to myself on my deathbed, am I going to be happy that I lived my life the way I wanted to live it, whatever that looked like to other people? Okay, sometimes people look at my life and think, oh my God, like that would be my worst nightmare. All those kids, all those animals, all that crazy, all that chaos, but I love it, and that's the only thing that matters. Just because somebody else looks at it and thinks, God, that would be awful. Don't let them impress upon you, oh, maybe I should be doing something different because other people don't see what I see, but they don't have to. At the end of the day, I'm going to be there waving the flag to say I lived the life that I wanted to live. I live in the country that I want to live in. Not everyone loves it. I live in this crazy house. It's not everyone's ideal, but I love it. And in the end, that's the only thing that matters for everybody. So make sure, when you're doing these goals in 2022, the energy is about getting what you want. Make sure you really, really love it, and don't let anyone interfere with that as well. Start the business. Do whatever it is that you feel like you want to do. Really important. Holly said this is helpful. I'm getting ready to launch my doTERRA business, a photo organizing business. Oh, Holly, you should join my Oil Me Up Baby. We're starting coaching. I'll tell you about this quickly because if anyone's interested. So I have a business, a doTERRA business called Oil Me Up Baby, and I teach people how to run doTERRA businesses online over the internet. And next month I'm starting an online training program called Cultivate, so you can come and join online. It's about how to launch and grow your doTERRA business online. So if you want to be a part of that, I'll just put the link in the post. I would love to talk to you about this more because we are doTERRA gurus. So 1 second. So also, if you want to help with achieving the goals as well, centered around that, then take a look at that. So there's something I'm doing called 22 Triumphs, which is a 22-week coaching program. It's coaching, it's mentorship, and every week for 22 weeks we do a different activity. And this is the fun part. This is the really appealing part. At the end, if you have achieved every little task that I set you, and they are little tasks, it could be things like leaving a comment, this is to get you in the habit of taking action, then I will give you something to the value of £1,000 at the end. It could be training, it could be website development, it could be anything. If you join 22 Triumphs, then you will get that at the end. So I would definitely say look at that. But I'll also share my oil business with you because I'm starting this Cultivate program. So it's a 10-week program. We start, I think it's the 11th of January. Basically, start to finish, I'm going to show you how to create an online doTERRA business. Using doTERRA is becoming an online oil manager. So I'm going to give you that link too as well. So check those out. If you want to connect with me, you can do so on support@virtualmissfriday.com. If you've got any questions or anything that you guys want to talk about, then please reach out to me. And also, if you want a little quick call or a quick welcome call, just a one-on-one together, do feel free to reach out to me as well. We could do that too. So yeah, that looks really good. I'm so excited. We've got a doTERRA person in here because that's been my focus for like the last couple of months. doTERRA did. My friend who I do it with a doTERRA rep. And she's introduced me to these oils and I'm just so into them now, like mega into them. They're amazing. Okay, so if you're interested in becoming an online oil manager, if you're interested in going through the 22-week coaching, I've got loads of activities planned for you, loads of things that you want to do. And like we want to do together, and loads of ways that you can get rewards every week for certain things. So that's just a really fun thing for us to do together over 22 weeks. And I hope by the end of these 22 weeks that all of you will be well on the way to achieving your goals. That is my goal for you with 22 Triumphs with this program. Oh, and Holly, you saw me through doTERRA. That's cool. That's really cool. I'll be posting in that group a little bit more actually, because we've got loads of resources. We do monthly resources to help people with their doTERRA businesses as well. So that's really good. Really excited about that for next year. And really excited about this Cultivate business development training, because I have not seen anything like it out there for doTERRA reps. I wanted to make something really different and draw on the experience of working online, because I'm in Egypt and it's not even a place that you can get doTERRA oils. So there's a lot of people in my situation struggling to make the business. But the most important thing is the customers are in the countries where doTERRA delivered to. So you're golden with that being in America, obviously. Okay, cool. So Holly, yeah, if you're interested in talking, do email me, support@virtualmissfriday.com. Check out those other links. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? Because we're on the top of the hour now. And I'm here. Anybody have any last minute questions? It was lovely. Thank you for joining. I will post a replay on my Facebook group and also on this Facebook event as well. The Facebook event is here. Again, if you just want to click on that link before we disappear. Okay, does anybody have any last minute things? No, thank you, Danielle. Tough love. It is a little bit of tough love. Oh, sorry, somebody else just coming in the room now, but we are leaving. We're at the end of this. Helen wants to watch the replay, got the timing wrong. Yeah, sorry, this was a really last minute thing. So somebody's Amy, also your timing's a little bit off. We are just wrapping up and finishing the call, but don't worry, I'm going to post the replay on the discussion inside the Facebook event, guys. So do check that out. And if you've got any questions or anything that you need to ask, just email support@virtualmissfriday.com. I've got your back. Don't forget, 22 weeks of coaching activities. It's centered around self-care. It's centered around business development. It's just centered around taking the energy of 2022 and really making it your own and tapping into that is really important. So do your goal setting, do everything that you want to still do. But if you want support, if you want help over this first 6 months of 2022, then this is why I've put this together, to support and help you. And help you to achieve something. And I really want a lot of success stories at the end of this 22 weeks, 22 triumphs. Cool. Okay, so thank you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm wrapping this up now. Take care. Love you lots. Have a wonderful new year. Happy new year to you guys. And if you're watching the replay and you're watching this into 2022, just really take advantage of 2022 because it's going to be an amazing year. This is not like any other year because of the energy around the numbers. There's a lot into that. If you want to learn more, join 22 Triumphs for sure. Love you guys. Take care. Over and out.